Malachi Toney is the X factor that Texas A&M fears most, and on Saturday, Miami's hopes will ride on his explosive playmaking.
You are Locked On Canes, your daily podcast on the Miami Hurricanes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
There's so many matchups on the field on Saturday, including great matchups in the trenches, but it's hard to imagine Miami winning this game without Malachi Toney making an impact. I am Alex Donno, University of Miami alumnus, co-host of Locked On ACC and host of Postgame on the Hurricanes Radio Network, and thank you so much to the everydayers for making Locked On Canes your first listen. We're available wherever you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube. We're part of the #1 Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create your account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. We'll talk a little bit about portal quarterbacks today because I want to get the truth teller's take on who he wants now that a bunch of guys are available, including Sam Levitt, including Brendan Sorsby. We got some really encouraging news from Mario Cristobal yesterday on the recovery of Keonté Scott and his status for Saturday. Let me bring in the man who is always telling the truth. He is a legend among legends, the truth teller, Bruce Warner. So Bruce, scouring the internet for Mike Elko quotes, head coach at Texas A&M, he spoke this week, talked about Malachi Toney, quote, the amount of ways he can impact the game, how explosive he is when he gets the ball in his hands, and then obviously for a very young kid, I think he's got really elite route running skills and separation, Elko said on Toney. And so I think when you look at him on tape, it really is hard to believe you're watching a true freshman. He's extremely talented. He's extremely dynamic and certainly a kid that has been a handful for everyone that they've played so far this year. Now, Bruce, is he going to be a handful for Texas A&M this week?
Not in the way we want it to be. I don't think he's going to have 12, 13 catches like he did the last two games. I think they're going to probably make somebody else beat us. It's common sense. Why would you let him do what he wants to do to shut down other people? Who else makes plays like that? So I think they're going to have a safety over him. I think they're going to jam him at the line of scrimmage probably so he can't get off those routes as fast as he's been. That's what I think they're going to do. And why not? I would do that if I was them. Yeah. So, no, I don't think he's going to be the 10-catch, 2-touchdown, throws a touchdown player this particular week. I think they're going to try to clamp him. I mean, I might be wrong, but I think I would do that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
When you watch Miami play offense, who jumps out at you? Him,
yeah. You had been saying this since early in the season. You got to use Malachi Toney as a decoy. Right? I mean, you roll him out to one side, you get the football in his hands thinking he's going to run, and he throws to the other side of the field to Carson Beck. I think he can absolutely be effective as someone who takes attention away from his teammates. But then the other thing, Bruce, I don't fully agree that they're going to be able to, Texas A&M, even if they focus on Malachi, I don't think they can make his I don't think they can take away his impact in terms of touches. Because, as Shannon Dawson talked about yesterday, they've got the Wildcat packages. You can find so many ways to get the football in his hands. You can run him. They can't just bracket him and take him out of the game when you find so many different ways to get the football in his hands. So I think Malachi is going to affect this game, even if he doesn't have a 10, 12-catch game.
Well, you said something at the beginning of this, which was my thought. If they're going to double team him, he's a decoy, period. And then you've got 10 other guys against 9 defenders. So you're right, but all I'm saying is they'll let somebody else beat them. They don't want him to beat Miami.
Yeah.
And I think that, look, he could play – if he lines up as the quarterback, they're going to be looking for the run. They're going to be looking for the pass. They're going to be looking at him more than any other player, including Beck probably. So, again, I think he may have a few catches, but I think more than likely, especially at the beginning of the game, he's got to be some sort of a decoy. They have to be able to go down the field with the run or pass or screens or whatever without him being the main guy. And then somewhere along the line, they're going to take that safety off of him. They have to and go from there. So I would, if I'm Miami, that's what I would look to do. So watch him catch 15 balls this week.
Well, and you know what the amazing stat is about Toney, and I hope he catches 15 balls. He's been targeted 106 times this season. He doesn't have a single drop. He hasn't dropped a
you
football
shouldn't
all
say
season
that.
long. Oh,
You
no,
shouldn't
you're right.
say
Did
that.
I
Now
just,
you
did I just
jinxed
give him
it.
the broadcaster's jinx?
Yeah, you did. Hey, look, the kid, that one-handed catch he made. Oh my God! Whatever. That was just incredible. Of all the things he's done, like he's a little guy. He stretches out. He holds it in his hand and he catches. He tucks it underneath. He's like so. I don't want to use the word perfect, but he's pretty close.
He's
He's
close.
really amazing. You know.
Well, let me ask you, and I want to get a little bit later on in this episode your prediction for the outcome of the game. But overall, we haven't talked to you on air since last Tuesday, which were kind of the early couple days of knowing this matchup. You've had an extra week to let the matchup marinate, and you've been watching some Texas A&M. You've been watching this show and other shows. How you feeling heading into Saturday, Bruce? What's your confident level, and what are you afraid of in terms of Texas A&M?
It's funny you asked me that. I'm not afraid of Texas A&M. I'm afraid of us. If we don't play like we did the last 4 games, we're not going to win. They have to come out with a focus like never before, still make it about us against the world. They have to have a chip on their shoulder. They have to be angry. I think Texas A&M is probably angry. They blew a shot at a bye by losing to Texas. So, and they're home with that big crowd. I'm worried about how we're going to show up. I really am. I don't want to see them play complacent and then fall behind and have to rally to come back. I want them to be just as angry and just as fired up as A&M, or as we were probably against Notre Dame and Florida State. Against Florida State, we went up there and destroyed them. Now, they're not Texas A&M, but that attitude that we had for the first 3 quarters, that's what I want to see. So I'm not worried about A&M. I'm worried about us. And I think we'll all know in the first 7 or 8 minutes of the game whether we're going to win or not, depending on how we come out. Okay? So I'm not worried. I'm nervous about the game. I'm nervous if we play Bethune-Cookman. I get nervous. I would be nervous if we played St. Thomas Aquinas. I'd be nervous. It's just who I am.
St. Thomas Aquinas, who might be better than Bethune-Cookman, if we're being honest.
Well, they might be, but I just think that I'm always nervous. So when people say you're negative, I'm not negative.
No,
I've been following these guys for 40-something years. So I'm like, I'm nervous. I'm always nervous.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be a little nervous that Marcel Reed is at his best. He's very hot and cold, but if we don't get enough pressure on him and he's able to kind of get some confidence by finding his running lanes, because I think if he's able to find success on the ground early on, I think that's really going to boost his confidence. And Miami, Bruce, they faced a number of running quarterbacks throughout the season, and Byron Brown, Tommy Castellanos, Kevin Jennings, Kyron Drones, but this is like the final boss of the running quarterbacks, because he's better than all of the other guys that we've faced to this point. Mario Cristobal even said it. Marcel Reed is the best one we've played so far in terms of running quarterbacks. You're looking at a quarterback that keeps his eyes down the field, has a great connection with his wide receivers. So we need to be.
I just don't want to see. I don't want to see him sitting in the pocket and we surround him from the outside. He just shoots up the middle for 20 yards. That's been a problem.
Get the interior defensive line. We got to be ready. Justin Scott, David Blay, Ahmad Moten. Yeah, you can't let him beat you down the middle.
Right. That's right. I don't think he's going to run on purpose because he did have a bad ankle a couple of weeks ago. But I am worried about if we let him in the pocket, like many of the guys you mentioned their name, they open up a hole and they take off. It's 3rd and 11 and they get a first down out of it. So that's got to stop. And it's been a pattern all year. By the way, I just want to make a quick comment. For all of us who have been following this team this century, this is a golden opportunity for the Hurricanes to really say we're back. So I hope they take advantage of it. It's been a long 24 years, 23 years minus that flag against Ohio State, but because we had that game won too. But I'm excited about the opportunity. I hope we don't blow it. After all the talking about we got in, Notre Dame didn't get in. If we get smoked or lose this game, it's not going to look good, but it'll look great if we beat these guys. And that may help us. It may help us in the portal if we want a quarterback, which we do, and it may help us with Sam Levitt. So I want to win. I want to win this game. That's what I want.
Hell yeah. Well, on the other side, for Miami to win this game, getting Keonté Scott back on the field could go a long way. We'll give you the latest on that. You want to keep it locked right here. We're only getting started on a Truth Teller Tuesday on Locked On Canes. Folks, the holidays are here, and whether you're hosting family, planning the perfect gift, or just trying to keep things simple and delicious, Omaha Steaks is making it easier than ever. From effortless holiday entertaining to unforgettable gifts, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience straight to your door. And what makes it even better, with Omaha Steaks, you always know exactly what you're gifting. USDA certified tender steaks, premium proteins, gourmet sides, and decadent desserts that make anyone feel appreciated. Folks, I love how easy it is to gift. It shows up frozen, it's packed beautifully, and it's ready to cook. Steaks are perfectly aged and insanely tender. It's restaurant level at your home. And they have so many options, guys, from steaks, burgers, chicken, pork, seafood, desserts, something for every kind of holiday gifting. Save big on gourmet gifts and holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com, and for an extra $35 off, use our code COLLEGE at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code COLLEGE. Thank you so much for making Locked On Canes your first listen of the day, and thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. If you're a true die-hard Hurricanes fan, the Everydayer All Access tier is built for you. You'll get one-on-one text access with me, all access episodes, an exclusive newsletter, and a 15% discount on the Locked On merch store. Head to lockedoncanes.supercast.com to join the Everydayer Club and unlock all access. You can also find the link below in the show notes. All right, we have our man, the Truth Teller, Bruce Warner, with us on this Truth Teller Tuesday. All right, so Bruce, a week ago, Mario Cristobal had hinted that Keonté Scott, who's Miami's top defensive back, is trending positively, and he doubled down on that yesterday, a week later. Cristobal feels strongly.
Keontae's not playing.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because Keonté, apparently, according to Gabby Urruti at Inside the U, Keonté has been telling people that he's going to be able to play this week. Cristobal says he feels strongly about it and that Keonté looks great. So the thing is,
he's going to play. I said last week he was going to play because I had heard that he's going to play regardless of what Mario said. So last week on the show, I did say he's going to play. He's going to play.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the big question is, if he plays, is he going to be on a snap count? Is he fully ready to get 40 plus snaps in a game? But I will tell you, Bruce, even if Keonté
off the field, I'm telling you right now, and he's the key because you talked about their quarterback for A&M. He's the spy. This is the one guy that was constantly in the backfield when he was healthy. So they got to look out for him now. That's where is Keonté, because that's important. Because he gets into the backfield. He doesn't stay at safety all the time.
He's a tremendous blitzer. That's a huge edge to have him on the field.
Yeah.
Huge edge. And again, just in case anyone was wondering, how good was Keionte Scott 10 games into the season before he got injured? Was Miami's highest graded defensive back, and he was the highest graded defensive back in the country. So you're talking about statistically through 10 games into the season, Keionte Scott was the best defensive back in America according to Pro Football Focus, and this is a guy we're talking about getting back for this week.
Yeah, and I said at the end when we were talking about awards or whatever, I said he was the best defensive player, not Bain, him. Now, I caught a lot of hell, but I think he had the best season of everybody. He was in every game. He did stuff in every single game. He was always around.
Yeah. What's your temperature on Carson Beck heading into this game? How do you feel about, him in this moment against this defense and, based on the way he's played the last month? How you feeling about Beck?
I feel great as long as the play calling is what it's been. Yeah. If they put him in long distance, I get worried because he's not controlling the game. And they have to control down in distance. He can't be second and long and third and long. We got to do stuff. That's why I said a few weeks ago, before they played NC State, they better start throwing the ball on first down because everybody's looking for the run. And they started that. Then they caught people off guard, constantly off guard. And that's what you want. You want an unpredictable offense on any down, any distance. It doesn't matter. So they're doing that. So I'm not worried about Beck as long as everybody else is doing what they're supposed to do. I'm sure he's going to see looks that he hasn't seen before. I'm sure. I think they're going to go after him because he doesn't really have the great ability to escape like their guy does.
Right.
But again, if we're throwing quick screens, listen, here's another thing. You know, the bubble screen or that screen that they throw to Malachi, I got a funny feeling they're going to blow that up. They're not going to let them beat them. So we got to come up with some other things to get rid of the ball. You know, like probably Lofton, who's starting to heat up a little bit now. He's getting involved in the offense. Get him involved in the offense. Daniels is back. Josh Moore's playing well when he gets the ball. And the best one so far is Mannery. He's playing great. And the yards after catch from him are pretty darn good too. So they have weapons. You don't have to. You can use Malachi as a decoy early and see what happens. Let them overcommit. Let's see what they're doing with him before you start feeding him the ball.
Yeah.
So, but again, I'm okay with Beck.
Yeah.
If he has a bad game, it's probably because the play calling might have been bad. I don't know.
Right.
But he's been pretty sharp, very sharp.
And you acquired him in the transfer portal for moments like these. I mean, SEC experience. I don't think he's specifically played at College Station, but, you know, he's played in Austin. He's played in Tuscaloosa. Like, he's played in many of the toughest environments in the sport. So, you know, there's nothing he hasn't seen before. Like, this moment's not going to be too big for him.
He never played in the swamp. They played up in Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then
he didn't play in that stadium. We had to play in there last year. We were so frightened by being in the swamp.
Toughest environment in the country, right?
Wow. That's all they kept talking about, and they got destroyed 2 years in a row.
Yeah. I will say, though, like, I think that, I hope you're wrong about the screen game, because I think Miami's going to have to commit to the screen game just because of the A&M pass rush, because you've got to be able to get rid of the football in about 2 seconds. And if you run some screens and hopefully you break a couple of them, Bruce, you're going to take a little bit of the tenacity away from Cassius Howell and company, because it's just going to make them think a little bit more, and they're not just going to have that free run to the quarterback, because you're talking about the team that leads the nation in sacks. So you're going to have to be able to run the football, and you're going to have to hit some screens and quick passes.
This is the blueprint defense to throw screens. I hope we do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I hope we do it. So. What else? I mean, I don't know if I'm going to make any predictions. I don't know.
Another angle that I don't think I've talked enough about leading up to this game is special teams, because you know, I would take Malachi Toney over Casey Concepcion overall, but Concepcion has had more success this year as a kick and punt returner. I mean, you know, Toney could have had a punt return touchdown, but the referees blew that quick whistle on the one. Yeah. But, you know, special teams, Bruce, is an angle. It's important in every football game, but A&M's return game statistically is even more explosive than Miami's. So you don't want to punt right at Concepcion, and you want to be mindful of booming your kickoffs into the back of the end zone, because this team can hurt you there.
Well, he can't hurt you if that's what you do. So, and our kicker kicked most of his kicks way back there. So take him out of the game by just kicking it as far as you can, and don't worry about any returns. And as far as the punt return, hey, you know, these guys are special, so anything could happen. But we have to be on our game, and the tackling has to be good. Can't miss tackles.
No.
Now, A&M hasn't played in how long?
They played the day before we last did, so like the 28th of November.
Yeah, so it's like 3 weeks.
3 weeks for both of us.
For quite a while. All right. We'll see. Look, I'm excited about the game. I'm excited that we got the nod. That's last Sunday that we're going to be in this thing. And, you know, we didn't get to the ACC title game, but who cares? We have a shot.
Who cares?
You know, and I love what Nick Saban says, don't count Miami out.
No.
Because if we play like we've been playing, I think we could stay with anybody, but we have to play like that, you know? I love the comment that offensive lineman made against Bain. Let's see if that lights a fire under the entire team.
And his quarterback backed him up on that. Marcel Reed, like, doubled down on it. They don't think Bain's a threat. Well, we'll see.
Hey, look, you know, sometimes I don't watch the film as much, maybe he takes himself out of the game. He's lined up so far outside a lot of times, and he goes up the field and they run right by him a lot of times. So I still think the idea of putting him in the middle on certain downs is a brilliant idea. This way they can't double team him off the edge, and he'll collapse that pocket, and somebody else will get in there and slam the runner or the quarterback. But it's not my call.
Another thing that stands out to me more, like watching more Texas A&M over the past few days, going back watching some of their condensed games and stuff. I know, like, statistically, they've done really well at the line of scrimmage. They only give up 12 sacks this year. You know, their defensive line leads the nation in sacks. But I still think, Bruce, the more I watch of Texas A&M, they really got handled by Texas at the line of scrimmage, and Texas is not a great line of scrimmage team. You know, the first half of that South Carolina game was just an absolute mess. But like I think Miami's going to have the edge on both lines of scrimmage, and we're going to be able to get some push and win the battles in the trenches. Like, it's not going to be a complete blowout in terms of that, but I do give Miami the edge on both lines of scrimmage after watching more of Texas A&M.
Yeah, when I watch them, I noticed their receivers are good, and they can fly.
Oh, yeah. They're explosive.
Can fly, and we can't have any screw-ups in the backfield. That's going to be a tough I think that this kid's going to throw the ball. I'm guessing he's going to throw the ball within 2 seconds, like most of these teams that have caused us problems. You're sitting in the pocket, you're inviting danger with our defense. So, well, I think I just think this game is just it's a 3.5. Now it's down to 3, right?
Ooh, you know what? I hadn't checked if it is.
I saw 3, and I saw 3.5 last week. So I guess some money's coming in on Miami, but not that I'm a gambler. But look, that's really a pick'em game. It really is. They got 3 points. They're at home. I get it. Anybody can win this game. It would have shocked me either way what happens. But be really
it's still 3.5 on FanDuel. Maybe it went down in some other places.
I don't know. When I looked at my phone for the game, it says A&M -3. So whatever. Okay. And last week it said -3.5. Yeah. But you're talking to the real guys, the Vegas guys. This is just ESPN. Are you excited about this, or are you nervous?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, all the above. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. I'm mostly excited. You know, I'm thinking about the opportunity and just, you know, everything Mario has been building for the past 4 years to get to this point. But yeah, when game day rolls around, I know the nerves are going to kick in. And yeah, well, and when we come back, I want to get the truth teller's prediction for the game. I'm going to put you on the spot for a final score, and got some good news because Miami is reportedly among 4 teams as a front runner for our favorite transfer portal quarterback in Sam Levitt. You want to keep it locked right here. We're not done yet on this brand new episode of Locked On Canes. And folks, if you're looking for tickets Saturday in College Station, Game Time is the spot. They are not sold out. You're going to be able to get into that game. And folks, the World Cup is coming back to North America for the first time since 1994. And with 48 teams for the first time ever, it's going to be massive. But let's be honest, getting tickets is usually the hardest part. That's why the Game Time app is clutch, finally giving fans a real advantage when it comes to snagging seats. With Game Time, you can track price drops in real time, get alerts when great seats open, and buy tickets the moment they hit the app. It puts the power back in your hands and makes going to the World Cup realistic instead of impossible. Folks, you pick a game, tap a section, you have your tickets locked within minutes. No confusion, no hunting the fine print. Prices include the fees up front, which I love. No last-second surprises at checkout. So take the guesswork out of buying World Cup tickets in every match, concert, or event with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create your account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, download the app, make your account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go with Game Time. On this Truth Teller Tuesday, Bruce Warner, I want to put you on the spot. How do you think the game's going to go on Saturday? Miami, Texas A&M. What's your prediction?
They'll kick it off around 5 after 12, maybe 10 after. How do I know?
Give me a score.
I'm not sure who's going to win the game. That's my problem right now.
Well, listen, if you think A&M's going to win, just you're the truth teller. You tell your truth, Bruce.
Truthfully, my head tells me that we're going to find a way to screw this up. It's just It's just I would love to win this game. But again, after these 4 years and the last 24 years, I feel like the jinx started when that jerk threw the flag in the end zone against Sharp and we lost to Ohio State. And it's been a jinx ever since. So the fact that we backed into this thing somewhat, even though I think we deserve to be there over Alabama too, no less, Notre Dame. I could see it being 31-27 either way.
Okay. All right. I'll take
either
that.
way. I just can't say that I know Miami's going to win. I knew they were going to win the last 4 games. And what I said at the first sentence on the show today, if they play like they did the last 4 games, I'm picking Miami 31-27.
Yeah.
If they don't play like that, I think they'll be behind early. They'll rally, but they won't win the game.
Okay.
That place is very, 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 very loud. So the most important thing for Mario and what anybody else that goes to that stadium, like Texas, is to jump on them early. Let them start thinking that, hey, maybe we could lose this game, keep the crowd out of it as long as possible. Because once they get going and those bells and all the other crap that they have there, but that's my score, 31-27. A lot of people are saying it's going to be low scoring. There's too much speed. There's too many weapons.
I agree with that. I'm going 31-24 Miami.
That's a good score.
And the reason why I stopped at 24 for A&M is 24 is our magic number. Haven't given up more than 24 points in regulation all season long. So I'm going 31-24. Listen, I respect your honesty on how it could go the other way. That's why we call you the truth teller. All right, so Bruce, meanwhile, off the field and into the transfer portal, Miami is getting linked to Sam Levitt, the Arizona State transfer quarterback. According to On3 Sports, the 4 schools that they consider to be the front runners are Miami, LSU, Indiana, who obviously they just had a pretty good success story there. Congratulations to the Heisman winner, Fernando Mendoza, and Oregon. Yeah.
Well, you told a story about Sorsby going to Texas, Texas Tech, because his girlfriend's there?
Just because of the girl. I don't know for sure what Sorsby's going to do, but his girlfriend, who I think is a volleyball player, just transferred to Texas Tech. So, I mean, my message to Sorsby would be there are many other fish in the sea, and most of them live in Miami. Like, that would be my message to Sorsby. Just throwing that out there.
Okay, well, let's forget him for a minute. Look, everybody needs a quarterback. LSU needs one. We need one. Oregon, I think, needs one. What was the other team?
Indiana.
Oh, Indiana. Yeah. I don't know. My gut tells me that coach might be in the NFL pretty soon. That's what I'm hearing. Why not? He's hot as hell right now.
Yeah, he is.
So that's kind of risky. Look, I don't know the kind of money LSU will throw at this kid. I know
everything.
They got the coach now. Yeah. So if Mario wants him, it's not going to be as easy as maybe it could be.
Right?
We got to get somebody. If it's not him, then I get nervous because I don't want Sellers. I don't want the kid from.
Sellers is staying at South Carolina. He signed a new deal.
That's what his father said months ago.
Yeah,
and because his draft stock probably is low after what he hadn't had such a great year.
No.
So look, I think Oregon will be in it. I don't know if he wants. Well, he's already out west, the kid.
Yeah.
Where is he from, Levitt? Do you know?
He is, I believe, he's from Eugene, Oregon, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay,
whoops.
Well, then I wouldn't put my money on him. Then, I want him, and I don't know who else is out there.
Yeah, he's not Eugene specifically, but West Lynn, Oregon, which I imagine is probably not that far from Eugene.
No, it's probably not. But he didn't go there in the first place.
Nope, exactly.
So, okay. Look, I don't know. The portal is a crapshoot. I still think we need another DT to come in and help because Blaze out, Moten's out. So, we have Scott, we have these other guys that are first coming in now, but we had a great recruiting class too. Really good class.
Right.
I don't know. Who would you think? I know you want Sorsby if we can't get Levitt, but he might not come.
For me, it's Levitt, then Sorsby. I keep DJ Lagway far away.
Yeah.
I'm not big on Dylan Raiola either. I think there's a lot of drama that comes with that guy.
Right.
Aiden Childs, I don't think he got benched at Michigan State. I just don't think he's good enough. So yeah, I mean, I'm Levitt or Sorsby until I see who else enters the portal. I mean, Bryce Underwood is a dom. He's not in the portal yet, the Michigan quarterback, but if he does enter the portal, even if Miami doesn't get him, maybe LSU does, and that could cause a ripple effect with who we do get, right? So
that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's what you want. You want him to go to LSU.
Yeah, so that we can get Levitt or Sorsby.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
But hey, Bruce, before we run, I know you've been helping a lot of folks out there, especially the holiday season, when it comes to, people in custody battles, unable to see their children, which to me is like, that's terrible 365 days a year if you can't see your kids, but it's even worse in the holiday season. How can you're a family attorney, let people know how they can reach you?
Yeah, I have a guy who listens to our show who's going to call me at 11 o'clock today, 11:30 today.
Wow.
So, yeah, I've been doing this for 42 years. I represent people in either divorce cases or paternity cases. A paternity case is when you have children out of wedlock, and many of the fathers are not seeing their kids. And it's like I've seen more of that in the last 5 years than I did in my first 25 years of practicing law. There's a million out of wedlock kids running around. And unless these fathers have a court order naming them as the biological father and giving them time sharing, they could pay child support $100 a day. It doesn't make a difference. They don't have the right to see these kids unless they file the paternity action, serve the mother, get a court order that you're the father, and get a court order with your time sharing. And since 2023, there's a presumption of 50-50. Whereas a lot of the fathers, including me, when I got divorced 30 years ago, I had to fight for more than every other weekend. So it's a lot different now. Fathers should be seeing their kids. Kids need to have both parents in their lives.
Yes.
So a lot of times it doesn't happen. I'm not just blaming the women, but a lot of them are doing this. Obviously, there's issues where there's a kid, he's with the father's mean to him, the mother doesn't like it, the kid doesn't like it. So any of these issues, just call me. My number is 954-258-2525, 954-258-2525, or email it talkingdivorce. It's all one word, talkingdivorce@aol.com. And go Canes.
God bless you. God bless the truth teller. God bless all the everydayers out there. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe. And make sure you check out the all access tier of the Everydayer Club. We got exclusive content on there. The link is in the show notes below. We'll talk to you next time on another episode of Locked On Canes. We are part of the awesome #1 Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.